Welcome to Quarantine Stories. Welcome to #Lockdown Stories, powered by #inamstories. My name is Inam. What's up, guys? How are you? This is season 1, episode 20. The title of today's story is The Witch at the Wilder's End, or The Wilder's End. I'll call it The Wilder's End. So today's season is this. How have you been, guys? I've missed you a lot. Today's story is about an old lady, but it's about a young Stacy. She's a young girl, Stacy, working at this old lady's house, and she turns out to be a witch. Hang on, I'll be back after this message. Alright, welcome back, people. Let's begin the story. So, season 1, episode 20 starts off now with me. My name is Inam. Alright. Long ago, when there were fairies and magical wands and the Harry Potter world that was out there was one girl called Stacy who lived at Lavender Cottage along with her mother. But as fate would have it, they both were very poor, so she had to work as a maid at people's houses. She ended up at an old lady's house. The old lady's name is Muggleston. Old lady widow Muggleston. She was a widow and she did not have a husband. Now, in her house, Stacy went and impressed old widow. So the household work that was there was the pressure cooker, the cooking, the washing, the cleaning, dishwashing, everything. A to Z consultancy was given by the young Stacy. Now, she got paid for the work that she used to do. On the old lady's part, she was very kind. She used to give one day off to young Stacy, that is on a Saturday. So, and that day she used to go to her mother's house at Lavender's Cottage. And there was a rule when she used to go. The old lady used to tell her, the young Stacy, that, you know, if you ever speak about me, you won't know what has happened to you. She used to threaten her. So time passed by. She used to do a lot of good work. But she found something peculiar in the old lady's house. Stacy used to clean the house and do everything. And there were these rabbits who were in the cage. And when she opened the rabbits, all of them would be scattering every single place. And they would come to her feet. And it looked like they wanted to speak to her. And they used to go to the old lady, attacking her feet. Okay? And to which the old lady was like, hey, get out. Out, rabbits, out. Stacy, take them in. So she used to take all of them in and put them in the cages. And they used to look like, you know, I need freedom. And this used to happen in a very weird way, okay? Now, one of these days, also there was a bear who kept knocking on the door. And this did not happen once, it happened multiple times. Where a bear would come, knock on the door, and young Stacy would be horrified of the damn bear. Because it was a bear at the door. Who gets bear knocking on the door? And the old lady used to just come and shoo the bear away. And the bear would go. And the bear would come back. And the bear would knock. Imagine a bear who's knocking at the door. So there is something peculiar that is going on at this old lady's house as time goes by. On one Saturday, where she went in to her mother's house when she was returning earlier than the time that was intended for her to return. At that moment, she saw Who saw? Young Stacy saw the old lady talking to this grumpy middle-aged man with a beard, and he was huge. He was a bit healthy, he was huge, and he was giving her, through the conversation she understood that the man that the old lady was speaking to was her brother. So she's like, yeah, the old lady has a brother? Interesting. So she was hiding and she was listening. She was peek-a-boo, 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 peek-a-boo. That was happening. So she was hiding and she was seeing all of this, where the man gave the old lady a packet of gold coins and he said, I am sending you another traveler. Please take care of him. I have told him that the usual reasoning, that he's going to come in for refreshments. You take care of his refreshments, if you know what I mean. The old lady took the gold coin, weighed it, kept it with her, and then, I think I'll turn him into a rabbit. I've had enough bears. That young Duke of Vincesha that I transformed into a bear keeps coming in and scares my help. And Stacy, who's a really good worker, I don't want that girl to go away. It's hard to find a maid these days. Says this, she's like, young Stacy's listening and she's terrified of it. And the conversation between the old widow and the brother is almost getting over. And young Stacy, seeing this, she wants to go back home silently. But when she walks, she steps on a twig. The old lady gets to know that Stacy has witnessed the entire conversation. Now Stacy is horrified. The brother is gone. There is no problem from the brother. And the old lady is not at all scared. She walks back around saying, and by that time Stacy packs her things and runs away from the house. And at that moment, when she's running away and she's standing at the main door and she is running away, imagine this is the house and the old lady's here and she's running away, young Stacy, and she doesn't do anything. She just goes far off from the house. At that time, this lady takes out this wand and poof, and slowly the young Stacy, poor young Stacy, turns into a plant. She turns into a plant. It is so strange. Poor young Stacy turned into a plant. Old widow thought to herself, I have to do all the work now. Oh, young Stacy, I wish you wouldn't have witnessed the conversation. Saying this, the widow goes back. Now, it's been 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The mother who is at Lavender's Cottage, who Stacy used to visit once in a week, that is on a Saturday, is concerned that her daughter has not come. So she comes to the old lady's house. She asks her, where has she gone? The old lady replies saying that she has run away. You're like, Stacy running away? Doesn't sound like that. Doesn't sound like Stacy. So she goes back. She's not convinced with the widow's answer. She knows that something is peculiar. She goes back, and in her Lavender's Cottage also there are fairies. Now she tells the fairies that young Stacy has gone and she's not returned. The fairies who lived with her mother secretly, they're like, how? So they go and they witness the plant and they realize what has transpired. They listen to the story of what has happened with Stacy. They find out that Stacy has become a plant, and they speak to the plant fairy. So they're like, don't worry, we'll do one thing. They go back, they go to the queen and they ask for spell remover. So the queen fairy comes in, takes charge, goes to the widow, poof, changes everything back to normal. The old rabbits that were prisoned, they were let out and they turned into humans. It turns out that all of them were travelers. And the bear, who was a duke, turned into a young duke. And finally, Stacy turned into... From a plant, she turned into a young plant. I mean, from a plant, she turned into young Stacy. And the witch without a W, witch without a B. The witch, what happens to the witch? The witch, all the fairies join powers and take the witch into another side of the world, another dimension where she is not allowed to return ever again into our dimension, so that you are safe and I am safe. And with that, the story ends. The title of the story was The Witch at the Wilder's End. And the takeaway from the story is protect yourself. Protect yourself. And on that note, guys, today has been 20th episode in the year 2020, and the title has been The Witch at the Wilder's End, or The Wilder's End. Until the next episode, I will be John Cena and I won't be seeing you. See ya, guys. I am really lucky to do this, and I'm really happy and thankful and grateful for your time. Thank you.